Faleminderit shumë që të keni ardhur. Është kënaqësi e veçantë që po ju shohim numër kaq mirë këtu. Faleminderit për konfirmimin dhe që keni ndarë kohën me ju edhe të shtuar në diellën për të qenë me ne këtë seminar këtë punëtori. E dini do të thotë që është në fokusin e Federatës Basketbollit që të ndihmojmë klubet tona dhe kjo është një nga aktiviteteve të cilat ne kemi parapar për të ndihmuar pikërisht juve për ato që është e rëndësishme. Tema të cilat do të shtelloni gjatë këtyre ditëve sigurisht do të shërbejnë juve, do të na shërbejnë edhe neve dhe stafit tonë për të mësuar diçka më shumë për ato se çka duhet bëjmë më shumë për klubet tona për ta ngritur basketbollin. Në të njëjtën kohë përmendi që është një prej shtyllave strategjike të Federatës Basketbollit Kosovës fuqizimi i klubeve, por është edhe një prej shtyllave apo objektiveve strategjike të FIBA-s që të ndihmojë federatat kombëtare, por edhe klubet e basketbollit. Kështu që këto tema sa do të shtjelloni ditëve mbijem, fatmirësisht për to do t'i kemi disa prej ekspertëve eminent të administrimit sportiv, përveç Raminës që e kemi me vete që është drejtoresha për krahje për federatat kombëtare në FIBA Evropë. Ne kemi edhe përfaqësues të FIBA botës këtu, drejtorisë për KACE, e kemi një përfaqësues të Basketball Champions League, që siç e dini është aktiviteti apo gara kryesore organizuar prej FIBA-s dhe është gara e cila është duke fituar çdo vit më shumë në fuqi dhe në vizibilitet. Dhe është një prej fokuseve kryesore të FIBA-s, por edhe përfaqësues të klubeve, disa prej klubeve që kanë pas shumë përvoja të tilla në të kaluarën e do të përpiqen që të përshojnë ato nevoja tek ne. E kemi këtu sot, edhe nesër do ta kemi edhe zotin Gjatë dhe zotin Danën, të cilët na kanë ndihmuar neve si federatë bashkarisht me Florianën dhe me ekipën e FIBA-s tjetër, do të nga të dyja nivelet, nga niveli global dhe nga niveli kontinental, në sajimin, hartimin e strategjisë për zhvillimin e basketbollit brenda Federatës Basketbollit Kosovës, që vërtet në kuptim të planifikimit strategjik dhe të asaj çka duhet me mendu në aspekte afatgjatë, si për federatën, si për klubet, jemi shumë mirë të përgjuar gjatë këtyre dy ditëve. Unë s'do të marr më shumë kohë sepse është me rëndësi që të flasin të tjerë, ata të cilët kanë ardhur për të na ndihmuar të gjithë neve për ta ngritur basketbollin tutje. Veç ju dëshiroj një punëtori të mirë, 2 ditë të mira, të freskshme dhe po shpresoj që përmes programit FIBA Plus do të kemi edhe përkrahje të tilla në të ardhmen, edhe do të ngrisim, do ta bëjmë një program të strukturuar të përngritjen e klubeve nga i cili do të përfitojnë gjithë si komunitet. Ju falenderoj dhe dëshiroj që të shumë ditë mbarë.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President, and I would like to congratulate the President and, of course, the new board for successful election yesterday, so 4 more years. We're looking forward to that, to work together. And, of course, we're very happy to have Elvira Dushku, the Secretary General, with us, as well as other members of the federations with key roles. I just would like to say a couple of things before we go into the program. I came or started to work with the Federation from its very first steps, actually, a few years ago, when the first youth national team went to participate in San Marino in the Under-16 European Championship. All the excitement over the years, and then how the steps were made. I have to say that it's not just the FIBA Plus program, which of course was so successful, but it's the way the Federation works and tries to build basketball in this country is a fantastic example. So we're really very, very happy every time we come to this country to work together with the team of the Federation and build, and of course, particularly now going to the clubs. So we will talk a little bit more about this, but first I would like to go, to go around and to just learn a little bit more about the audience.
Hello everyone, my name is Shamil Package. I come from a new team in Superliga right now, Bora Basketball, and I'm a board member of Bora Basketball Club, also with my friends that came along with me.
Pass to the next one, please.
Hi, I'm Vedat Zahiti. I came here with Shamil. He brought me to this training. I work as a graphic designer.
Hello everyone, I'm Irva Kushmilio from the basketball club of Dita, and here I am with my friend, my teammate.
Hello, I'm Dita. I also come from basketball team at Pjesa, and my role in the club is player.
Hi everyone, my name is Dita. I work in Kosovo Basketball Federation. My role is as a marketing manager.
Hello everyone, my name is Dita. I'm from AA San Pristina. My role in the club is part of administration.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. Hope you're doing all good. My name is Arno Berami. I'm the coach of Basketball Club Illyrian from Pristina.
Hi to everyone, I am Dita from Klube Keiko, from Obilis of course, but my club is Klube Keiko. Now this year we are in first league and I am a secretary.
Secretary General.
Yeah, of club.
Përshëndetje për gjithë, unë jam Omer Daku, kërkari I klubit Basketbollit Dita për familje.
Hello to everyone, I'm Omer Daku, I'm the president of the basketball club Dita.
Përshëndetje për gjithë, unë jam Ramush Rashiti, kryetari I klubit Junior 06 në Superligën e Kosovës.
Hello to everyone from Ramush Rashiti, he's the president of the club coming from Pjesa, Junior 06.
Përshëndetje, unë jam Erlind Rushiti, drejtor sportiv I klubit Femra dhe Junior 06.
Hello from Elin, he's the director of the club Junior 06.
Përshëndetje, unë jam Gjadat Ademi, vi prej klubit Basketbollit Vështrës, drejtar sportiv.
And hello also from Jadet, he's coming from Austria and his role is the sports director of the club.
Hi everyone, my name is Yerton Shokai. I come from klube Istanbul. I used to be a basketball player.
Hello everyone, I'm Tony Valiu. I come from the Sigar Pristina team. My role in the team is a board member.
Hello everyone, my name is Dita. I am the PR and the social media manager at klube.
Hi everyone, it's Ahmed. I'm more into video content creation from Sigar Pristina.
You're in the right place.
Yeah, I am.
Sorry. Last but not least.
Hello everyone, I'm from Bear Gurguri. I come from Kosovo Club. I'm a coach, assistant coach in the club.
Përshëndetje gjithëve, jam Blerim Zharko, vi nga klubi Kosovari, antar I bollit.
Hello from Blerim Zharko, he's coming from the club Kosovari and he's a board member.
Hello everyone, I am Yusuf Shaila. I come from Proton Cable Prizreni and my role is marketing manager. He is my colleague.
Përshëndetje, unë jam Leotrim Kollore, jam koleg bashkë me Tisur.
And also hello from Leotrim, they're working together from the club Proton Cable.
Thank you very much. Did we miss anybody? If we miss anybody, raise your hand. Okay, couple of things. I will say a few more words before I introduce our team, of course, and we speak a little bit about the program. We always like this setup because people can actually communicate, but also see the presentations and follow the presenters. So what I would like to ask you, if your chair is semi-turn or turn with the back to the screen or to us, to kind of make sure that you make yourself comfortable, or just switch, and of course we'll move if necessary a little bit the camera, just to make sure that you follow. Again, during the presentations, if you don't see, move your chair. The important thing is to follow. Number two, also, please, if we have a simultaneous translation, the importance here is to really understand and get engaged. So if we go too fast, please raise your hand and tell us. We can slow down, we'll repeat and make sure that's why we have here the girls will help us to actually translate and make sure that the topic is well understood. Okay, so this is, before I go into details, I would like to just mention that be comfortable, make sure you see, you hear, you understand. Okay, so going back to why we're here, it's the FIBA Plus, of course, it's a great program, and Kosovo is one of the federations that we feel is the most active in this program and is
building the blocks quite successfully with the strategies, as you can see around. So this workshop is unique of its kind, and we have to say that it's created almost like based on the needs of the Federation and by request of the Federation. And for us, it's very important because we're coming second time to Kosovo with this workshop, and we are trying to develop it as a product even more depending on your needs. Why is this so important? It's because the clubs are the heart and the soul of any sport, especially basketball. The players are with you for most of the year. They live there, they get their salaries there, they participate there. So we understand that we have to really work together very closely in order to grow our sport. What is important to mention is that this is a top priority and a pillar for FIBA globally, the empowerment of the federations and the clubs. So the next few years, of course, the clubs are always a focus, but particularly in the next few years, we would like to put a lot of emphasis on the work with the clubs. And this can only be done if we work together, because in the end of the day, this is what we need to do. Together we are stronger. So the idea of moving into the new kind of era, knowing how to commercialize, knowing how to use media, knowing how to use all the tools that are coming to the market, because we compete with other sports, is of course extremely important. So we sincerely hope that we brought a really top team of experts here to work with you. And I would like to introduce that team. So first of all, my colleagues from HQ who are in charge of that. So Florian Pasquet, Florian, come please. I think some of you already know Florian. He's in charge of National Federations programs and very much the leading person on the FIBA Plus. All the hard work, Florian, and of course Aurélie as well. She's leading on that too. So these two are my colleagues. Then I would like to introduce a very important person for this workshop, Benjamin Gutierrez. He's in charge of commercial of the Basketball Champions League, which will be, of course, very, very important for you, and he has fantastic presentation today. We have our two experts from FIBA, Jeff Wilson, you know Jeff, and of course Darren Young, who is with us for the first time, very, very experienced expert as well. And last but not least, very interesting person from Litas in Vilnius, a top club. So this is Petras Jesunas. I hope I pronounced your surname well. He's in charge of sales commercial marketing as well at the club. So he will share their experience. As you know, they're leaders in so many things in Lithuania, and he is very happy to share their knowledge with you. So hopefully it will be, again, very interactive, very good workshop. But we have a couple of rules, and these couple of rules, I already mentioned some of them. Please be on time, because we don't want to delay the group, so that's one of the things when we break for lunch, when you want to come back, be on time, make sure that you concentrate. So the phones, of course, are here, but, keep your concentration, otherwise we may miss something that is the most important for your club. And of course, be focused. The most important of all is no shame. There is no such a thing like a stupid question, like something that, you misunderstood and you're just afraid to mention it. No. As I mentioned at the beginning, something is not clear, stop. If you would like to discuss something with one of our experts or any of us, or even somebody from your federation, use the breaks for that. But we are here, all of us, to get better and to learn something new. So I wish you all a very, very productive day and a half, and hopefully this is just a start of a very good journey. So over to Jeff now.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. It is lovely to be back in Kosovo. Thank you so much for coming today. So the first thing we want to go through is the agenda. So the first thing we're going to do today, we're going to talk about brand and brand identity. What is a brand? How do you create a brand? And why you should create a brand? And that will be for this morning and up until lunchtime. Then after lunchtime, we will focus on content, on digital content. And what we will be doing this afternoon is creating videos. So we're going to get you to create some videos. So please, 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 when the exercises come, please get into it. Because when you get into it together, you will learn. So learning for us, some will be by PowerPoint, but you will learn more from each other by discussing. So we will give you some discussions. We will give you an exercise. Please don't be afraid, but get into it because you will learn from each other. But ultimately, we will be giving you tools, templates that you can take away and implement in your club. Yay! So hopefully this will be good. We will, after this, we will be looking at email marketing. So how you can communicate and the benefits of email marketing. So this will be today, branding, digital content. Tomorrow, we will look at the fan's journey. So when your fan goes to your venue, to your game, what is that journey like? How can you improve that journey to make it a better experience? So we're going to go through that and we will look at some simple things that you can do and that you can implement. And then we will touch on the making memorable experiences, followed by a discussion. How do you attract younger fans? And how do you keep your fans loyal? So, we're going to touch on branding, digital, the fan's journey, and attracting fans to your game. Now, what we would like you to do is please, we have wasted no expense by giving you one sheet of paper. Please, please, please write on this paper to take tips away. What we would really want you to do is to take away 3 things and to implement them. Would you all agree, if you're spending your time with us and you did nothing, that might not be good? Would you agree? Where if you can take 3 things away and implement 3 things, then this has got to be good for basketball in your club and basketball in Kosovo. Agree? Everybody say yes, Jeff. Okay, that was 3 people. Everybody say yes, Jeff. Okay, so let's get a bit of energy in the room. So I'm going to ask Florian to come to the front. And if everybody can stand up and get into pairs, so 2 people. So stand up, go and meet someone else. Meet someone else, and like this from each other. Go and talk, get someone else that you do not know, and this distance from each other. So we're getting up, we're standing. Okay? To that person, say hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay? Good. Okay, so the first thing we will do, so we will demonstrate as you look. I will be going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 at speed. So watch us. Are we ready? So I'll go first. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we will do it again. So you're like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, but very quick. We'll do it one more time.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Away you go. Go. Everybody get the interpretation okay? So. Okay. Okay, everybody? Yes. Oh, these two got it well. Very good. Okay, so this time you do not say the number 2. Instead, you clap. So it's 1, clap, 3, 1, clap, 3, like this. 1, 3, 1. Oh, no. Okay, but very quick. So we will do it one more time. Very quick. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Oh, no. Okay, where you go. Very quick. Yeah. But just this, you can hear it. Yeah. And bear in mind, this is the very, very start. Okay. Okay. So, then everybody get it okay? Okay, so the next one and the last one, instead of saying 3, you jump. You still clap on 2. So it's 1, clap, jump. 1, clap, jump. Like this. 1, 1, 1. No. Is okay? 1, clap, jump. Very quick. Do it quick, 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 quick. Speed, speed. Faster, faster, faster. Okay. Okay, I have to look at these two gentlemen. So everybody here, if we can look this way, can you try it in front? Because these people were brilliant. Brilliant. Let's watch them. So 1, Elvia, you're okay? It's okay, the interpretation? So 1, clap, jump. Let's see them and let's give them a round of applause. Come on. Yay, let's try it. Okay, let's go. Go 1. One more time. Try one more time. Okay, go. No, let's give them a round of applause. Very good, very good. Okay, you may be seated. You may be seated. So this is what we want, a bit of energy in the room. We now start with branding. So we're very, very fortunate to have Ben with us from the BCL. And what they have done is fantastic, but Ben's going to take us through all elements of brand identity. Please, please, please write down the notes as Ben is speaking. What can you take away? What can you take away? Ben, the floor is yours. Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you, Jeff. Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Before I start I want first of all to thank you. Because I must say it's quite a commitment to be on a Saturday. So I really appreciate the fact that you're all here. I'm looking forward to spending time with you. And as Jeff mentioned, well, actually, what I would want on my side, not necessarily that you write down, but is actually to see your hands up and having questions, comments, and that we can discuss. I have slides, but the reality though is the workshop and the outcome of the workshop is what you want from it. It can go one way, it can go a very different way. It all depends. I've seen and I've noted down that there's quite a high number of representatives from all different areas of the clubs. Coaches, marketing, graphic designer, player, secretary general, director, board member. And this is great. Not everything will be tailored for everyone, but this is great because actually when you try to implement something in a club, you need all of them. One of the most difficult things that we found on our side working with the clubs, and I will obviously let Petras speak about all of this, is sometimes to do great content, you need to have the coach approval. And it's not always easy for a coach to say yes, to actually show some videos of the locker rooms, but that's what helps build your brand through the content. So again, that's something that is going to be great to have all the different representatives. As I mentioned, if there's any question, if I go too fast, if there's something that you don't necessarily understand, please raise your hand, ask the question. I actually would be more than happy to just discuss versus me going through some slides. As we talk about, obviously, brand identity, and obviously coming with my Basketball Champions League hat. Yeah, first of all, can you raise your hand if you know what is the Basketball Champions League? See, that already means we're not doing such a great job in branding and marketing. We are in a basketball environment, not everyone knows that. But that's fine, I'm happy, that's a journey and you build a journey, so I'm happy to go with that. Same question, but who has attended a Basketball Champions League game? See? And you cannot have the full Basketball Champions League experience without attending a game. So again, we're going to go through obviously a number of things, but it's great to also have a view of that. First of all, and our third question of the presentation. There's a few logos on there. One is the French Football Club, the NBA, the Olympics, FIBA. They all have one thing in common. Can you tell me what? Any guess? Anyone? You can give it a try. The ball? Good try. I mean, that's actually, it's almost all sports, you're right, outside of the GL events, which is a kind of an event companies. Actually, on this way, it's me. That's all the companies I've worked with. Obviously, spent 10 years at the Olympics. Before that, I was at the NBA, and then obviously moving FIBA. And again, what is important is actually, when you look at some of those companies, you actually see the logo, you know them, but you may not know them, you just know the logo. And again, that's why logos is important, that's why branding is important. And as I mentioned, obviously, Ben Gauthier, and now I'm presenting myself. I've been 3 years as the Chief Commercial and Marketing Officer for the Basketball Champions League. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm a basketball lover. I'm trying to pass that on to my kids as well. So it's always trying to find the right way to make sure that you engage with the younger generation. And I think there's a number of things that we will discuss around that there. Next question. 3 logos or 4 logos that you may know: IBM, ABC, the US broadcast channel, UPS, Education First. Any guess on what is the common trait with all those 4 logos? What? Sponsors? That could be a good one. That's not that, but that's it could be actually, you're right, for IBM, for UPS, for EF. I mean, obviously, ABC is a broadcaster. That could be. Any other guess? Marketing in one, okay. You're getting closer. It's actually the guy who created those logos. So Paul Rand, he was an American designer, art graphic designer. He did all those 4 logos. What is impressive is actually, out of those 4, there are 3 that literally are international brand. So it means something that if one guy is able to do 4 logos, there must be some secret, some source of, okay, what is a good logo? So in your view, what is actually a logo and what is a good logo? What makes a logo successful? The brand? But before having a brand, you need to have your logo though. So what can make your logo successful? I think you're a graphic designer, right? Any guess on that? Because I'm sure you have some elements there.
Hi, actually I'm new to graphic designing, but I can take a guess. I think visibility, simplicity. I think these 2 colors, I mean.
You're right on point.
Is that it?
Visibility, identity, simplicity.
Yes.
And one more, timelessness.
Which one?
Timelessness. So which means that your logo must be today, in 20 years from now, technically speaking, should be kind of not the same, but shouldn't move or evolve. There's no time component into it. So that's very good question, very good answer. So thank you for obviously speaking there. What is a logo? I mean, it's a flag. It's an identity. We talk about brand identity. This is what the first thing that actually your fans, customers, clients will see. So it's important that you make sure that this is simple. This is visible. It's a signature. It's not a brand description. I don't need to see all this, what you're doing when we look at UPS. I mean, I don't need to know that you're actually shifting or transporting boxes from one place to another. That's, again, something that is important, and that's why, obviously, it's something that to always keep in mind when you look at your logo. Going there and going to the, obviously, 4 criteria to have successful logo. Identity, so it's not the description. Visibility, I would call identity visibility. Is your logo visible? Is your logo distinctive? And on this one, I mean, if you see Pepsi logo, actually you will see that there's a lot of similarity with Korean Air logo. And sometimes, I mean, again, if you go in Korea, there could be kind of actually a mix when you look at the colors, when you look at that. So it's important to always have a distinctive logo, something that you know this is this. Timelessness, when you see at the Apple logo, they have been there in the business for many, many years, while their logo have been a bit of relifting some time, but it's still relevant. And relevancy is very important. And then simple. Look, extremely simple. Overly simple. But everyone knows those logos. I mean, if you look at the Olympic rings, again, super simple, with obviously the 5 rings representing the 5 continents. Very simple, but 90% of the population knows they are the Olympics logo. And then there's also a few tricks that you do in a logo. And if you see, Nike has evolved their logo. Nike is only the swoosh, but there used to be actually a Nike word around the swoosh. And that is actually to help people remember what is your brand. So Levi's is doing it. Obviously, Coca-Cola is even another approach. But to make sure that in your logo, you also have the name so that people remember it. So when you look at my presentation here, you can see I have the Basketball Champions League logo here integrated into, obviously, a keynote, and I will explain, obviously, why later on. But I don't have necessarily the Basketball Champions League. And when we use our logo, we always strive to have Basketball Champions League for people to actually remember we are the Basketball Champions League. Because you may see the ball, or it rings a bell, but what it is. Well, it's actually for us to make sure that people remember and people get it, especially when you're a new brand. I've done, before coming, and apologies because I didn't have all the clubs, I've done actually a few tricks on my side. I went on Bing, obviously the AI platform of Microsoft, and I decided to actually revisit some of the logo. I didn't spend a lot of time on, and don't take offense on your logo if your logo is on the front. My main point was like, existing logo, what is the NBA doing? and what could be a logo through generative, obviously, artificial intelligence. And that's quite interesting to see, obviously, that in 20, 30 minutes, you can achieve some of the result, obviously with the golden eagle yearly there with the colors, but actually, because named the golden eagle, where is the eagle in the logo? I mean, if your value, if your approach is, this is who we are, then we should see it. And you should think that it should be in merchandise, and you want people to buy this stuff. You want people to actually be in the street with your club jersey. That should be the objectives of everyone, to see kids actually going around, and not necessarily because they're basketball fan, but because they actually like the brand. That's all. I mean, and I don't know how much it was for you, but in France, MLB, Major League Baseball, sorry, in the US, the Yankees, I mean, some of those, I mean, massive brands were actually super well known without people knowing anything about baseball, just because of the logo. And it's actually trendy. It's cool to wear them. So again, that's just a few examples. I don't have the copyright for all of that. So if you want to do it on your side, I can also go there. But more and more design agencies are using AI to support the development of a logo. It only supports it though, because the logo needs to respect your values. You need to respect, so there's a lot of brief that need to be done. And then AI can do the magic and obviously help you to go with there. But you need to make sure it's simple. You need to make sure it's visible, distinctive. So you know right away where you are and what it is.
Ben, where would people get that? What's the website or where?
I can definitely, I will share it, but it's being on this one that I used, which is the Microsoft platform there, which you have some, obviously, there's some free aspect to it. There's also, obviously, if you use it too much, a more paid version, but you can obviously easily go on that, and I'm happy to share the link. But question though, on those logos, and again, let's say, I mean, I know we have Pristina, I mean, we have the people from the club of Pristina in the room. Out of, like that, what do you think about, well, first your logo, but also what could be other logos and different logos? I mean, do you feel, actually, this is history and that's mine and it's difficult to change? Would you be able to consider a different approach of a logo? Just again, for my understanding.
So firstly, I think this logo that you used is the older version, so we updated it, and I think the new logo that we have is more like this. Can I try it in Albanian, please? Sure. Logo të cilën jemi të e përdor tash është shumë oh, sorry. Logo të cilën jemi të e përdor tash është shumë më përshkruese për ato se çka synon Prishtina.
It's more descriptive of what the aim of the club Pristina is.
Ka elemente të tilla që e përfshin një identitet, cilën kemi tentojmë kriju.
Which we are trying to create.
But
no, I mean,
show you.
No, I'm happy to, just to let you know, this is the one on your Wikipedia page. So if you have a new one, please make sure you update it as well. But no, definitely, I mean, and happy to, again, there's no right or wrong. It could be that actually, as it's based on your club, your brand, your values, I mean, I'm not saying these are better, not at all. I'm just saying that this is obviously a different approach as well on what you're looking at. We talked about a lot about brand, or logos, sorry, but logo is not brand. Logo is only a part of brand. You can see on the icebergs, the logo is the flag. What is below is your brand identity, is your strategy. This is just the tip of the iceberg, as we say, your flag, your shield, what you obviously want to be proud of, but it's only the result of what comes below, which is all the brand identity. And that's, again, something that is important. What do we mean by brand? And I think that's an important step here, and I will again, spend some time there, but if you have any question, feel free to jump in. First of all, brand are promises. This is really ideas that you want your fan, your customer, your clients to live with. When I go, obviously, and I buy an Apple product, iPhone or whatsoever, I know where I'm going to go. I will be part of the community. When I am, obviously, with my Garmin watch, I know I'm technically part of the sports, running, climbing community. So again, there's values that you put in your brand, and the brand, obviously, is what the people and the consumer have ideas about your brand. If you look at Patagonia, I don't know if you know the brand Patagonia, which is outdoor brand. Well, if Patagonia were to, their whole approach is about environment friendly, sustainability, and making sure that they actually are not economically driven, but actually they are Earth, planet driven. If you go now and say that you're going to produce all your things somewhere in the middle of Asia, then that doesn't reflect your brand. And then you're going to have a problem with your consumer. So again, what is important is everything you do, make sure that it's linked to what are your values and how you want the consumer, the fans to see it. Obviously, the other important elements that I want you to remember from that, the stronger is your brand, the easier it will be to get partners, commercial partners, sponsors, to actually get higher value of your brand. Sometimes we feel because we work in sports, only the sports matter is important. Which is true. If your team wins, you're champion, great. But the problem is if your team doesn't win, then what does it mean? It cannot be only, there's only one team that is going to win the championships. Your whole strategy cannot be only on winning. So how do you work, obviously, with your fan to make sure that they feel they belong to the community and they obviously are okay with your values? And we will go through that. We will do, obviously, a few exercises as well on the values and what you can have. But maybe you can say, well, actually, I want to be kids-friendly. I want to have family at my game. I don't want only hardcore fans. I want to have family at my game. Well, there's a few things to do that. There's the time of the games that you obviously work with your league, work with, but you can play earlier. In Spain, Unicara, Malaga, so the BCL champion, they actually, the time they have the most people in the venue is actually when they play on the Sunday lunchtime. Because this is where you come with your family. And therefore, if you come with your family, well, the dad is a fan, but then if he comes with his son, the son will become a fan. And that's the way you also generate that. So again, it's things that you need to consider when you work at your club to see what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. Going a bit further on that is obviously, and what we talk by brand identity is what is your storytelling? What is your image? What is your personality? That is different from every club. And we have obviously many clubs in the room today. You will all have a different story. Can be linked to the history of the club, can be linked to the history of the city, can be linked to what you're doing, what you want to do, or you are branding. But it's important that that storytelling check out. And when I say check out is we name, and it's funny because when I was listening in the translation, when they say they present the Basketball Champions League, the translator translated in English FIBA Champions League. There's a reason why, and like it or not, I was there before, after that, there's a reason why we call Basketball Champions League and not FIBA Champions League. Just to use basketball as a more generic term, because FIBA, outside of the FIBA community nowadays, not everyone knows that FIBA is the world governing body for basketball. So that's why when we took, obviously, the naming approach of the Basketball Champions League, we went with basketball. And then the second aspect to that is a number of people, and for those who know the Basketball Champions League, are questioning me, Ben, why do you name the Champions League? you don't have champions. It's like, oh come. Well, and I'm going to obviously speak openly about it, but the EuroLeagues have the champion. Well, actually, no. The EuroLeague have the champion from certain country, but we have more champion in our qualification system. So technically speaking, participating in the BCL, this year, we will have 15 national champions, which is the more than any other leagues. I think that's where we name all things. It's like, we want to be basketball, we want to be Champions League. So that's, again, something that I will explain, but it's to show you that the story needs to link to your image, needs to link to your personality. And then, obviously, you have the what I call UPS, unique identity, but UPS, unique selling, unique point of sale, unique proposal selling point there. And it's what makes your club different. I could ask you, and again, I will not do that for a matter of time, but I will do that during the break. What makes your club different? Why, I'm just first time in Kosovo, why should I be a Pristina fan and not a Trepsa fan or Golden Ely fan? Why? There must be values. And again, I could like the logo, I could like the color, but there may be values, and you have all different values. And that is what you need to have as well to explain. Because the hardcore fans, the one that follow the team, will always be there. But how do you increase your community? Or do you make sure that you have more fans to the game there? So that's, obviously, that selling point is important because that will build trust and loyalty. And ultimately, that will give you the value. The more value you have, the more trendy is your brand, the more commercially savvy is your brand, and then it helps. And to be fair, we also, and obviously there's coaches and there's players in the market, but if your brand is known, well known, it's easier to get a player as well. If he knows the logo or if he's seen it somewhere, I actually know that club. I didn't know it was here, but I know that club, and that obviously helps to make it work. Is there any question or comment on that section?
Can I ask, has any of the clubs got values? So,
yeah.
Say for example, your club here, do you have values in your club?
The first person?
No.
Dita.
Do you have a list of values in your club?
Okay. Okay, we have list of values that in my department we value, but I'm more into video creation and that, so we have like a different approach. But I'm here to really learn new stuff, so I would really value also this moment here.
Has anyone else got values?
Përshëndetje edhe një herë. Do të sa I përket vlerave, ne jemi mundu paka shumë të bëjmë një identifikim rend të parë të lojtarëve të cilët me kemi menduar që të mujmë t'japim diçka edhe si klubit edhe si rezultat. Ndër ato që mendojmë që klubi jonë ka vlerë përveç rezultateve dhe lojtarëve të cilët e kanë treguar një performancë të mirë, tani nga klubi jonë që burremi, kemi bërë identifikimin e një lojtarit I cili sot është me një ndër lojtarët. Ndoshta të gjithë keni një par Erxhan Osmanin, I cili luan në Efes Pilsen, do të thonë kemi bërë një lloj identifikimi. Çfarë nuk kupton kjo që ne gjithë është mirë që paraprakisht përveç këtyne të bëjmë rend pa një identifikim të lojtarëve që ato herë do kur që të prezantojnë edhe basketbollin, po dhe vlerat e atij klubi dhe asaj shoqërie. Ne do të thotë përveç këtyre vlerave të rezultateve që mendojmë që rend parë është edhe kjo.
That is a very good point on players leaving the values of the clubs. That is a very good point because yes, you need the players to actually buy into the value of the clubs because they are going to be the heroes that people look at. I think what is important though is to make sure that your club has values. So it starts with the club saying the values. And the values could be a lot of them. We are respectful. Our club, we're respectful. Or we actually are friendly. Very different approach. We want us to be in a friendly environment. There's a respect on one side, friendly on the other side. We want actually to be fun. Third approach. And therefore, in your video creation, you obviously talk about video creation, you will have a different tone depending on the values your club has. You want to be serious. I'm the champion, and I'm actually a serious club. That my club is serious, so I'm not going to be fun. But that's the way I want to be, very institutional. So that's very different approach, and it's important that you have those values set out. And I would say 3, 4, and we can obviously work on the working session, that what are your 3, 4 values that represent you? So that's, again, an important point. And then definitely the players, the coach, the organization, they need to live to the values because they are the one that will be the brand ambassadors. Today, if you have a player, he's going to go anywhere, he's been known as the player of this club. And therefore, it's important that he share the values and he communicate those values.
Very good, and thank you, Ben. So as an example, if a value was fun, how would that look for the people here? If fun and entertaining was one of your values, from a social media point of view, from a branding, how would you physically activate that? Just to give everyone an example. So if the values were fun and friendly, Ben, what would you do? If those are your, say, 2 values, what would you do to actually introduce that into the various activities?
Definitely. Well, first element is the online experience, and then there's the on-site experience. On the on-site experience, what we do, and since I joined the Basketball Champions League, everywhere you will go to a basketball event, the Final Four, there will be a fan zone. Fan zone, which is arcade gaming, the pop-up shot basketball, which is inflatables, which is 3-on-3 basketball court, which is for people to have fun. And not only the people that will go to the games, but people in the city. What I want them to remember is actually, oh, what was that basketball event that was in the middle of the city hall? And that was cool. So DJ, obviously dance squad, mascots. The mascots are great. We always bring the mascot to our Final Four of the different teams because they're great. We actually had, obviously, NBA mascot as well at the Final Four. So that's one element for on-site. And then, when it comes online, you need to find that tone of voice that is actually fun, respectful, while still, obviously, respecting the players. But bloopers is the best example. The video that works the best is the bloopers. What is the bloopers that I don't know if the translation is good? Is like turnover, bad pass that goes directly in the stands, missed dunk. That's those type of things. Well, people love it. And there's a way, and I can show you videos example. I don't have them there, but I can show you videos. There's a way to actually communicate that and promote that. But that's something that you need to make sure that this is part of the DNA so that the players won't feel offended. On our side, we actually placed bloopers in a full room of players at the player award ceremony. They loved it. They made fun because they know it happens. So again, that's something that to work on the fun side. When we talk about the brand identity, and who knows obviously those 2 logos? Raise your hand if you know those logos. One of them? Which one? Which one do you know? This one? Do you know what is this one? This is the Washington Bullets. We used to be the Baltimore Bullets, and they changed their logo in '95. They actually not changed only their logo. They changed their name, their identity, because the owner, Abe Paulin, in '95, felt that Washington Bullets was way too violent and sending a wrong message and a wrong approach to the fans there. And they turned into the Washington Wizards. And when we talk about the logos here, I think that's a masterpiece. It's actually the 3 stars to represent the states of DC, Maryland, you have the monument board that they call the monument because you see the Washington Monument there. They kept the color. They actually kept the origin of the clubs and the entity. They just make it more friendly, more fan-oriented, more Washington-related versus the Washington Bullet. So again, one small thing of the name of your club, and again, I know in Europe we will never change the name of a club. I mean, a club is our club, that's part of our DNA. Well, but it makes sense though if you want to reach a wider community. I think that's something you should not be afraid if for whatever reason your club has, again, a logo that doesn't fit, to actually look at it and change it. The fans may not like it at the start, especially the core fans, but it is a way to get more and more fans and more customers. We're going to go through that, but there's a lot of things you can play with on the brand side. Obviously, we talk about content, video. I mean, there will be a session this afternoon, but you have your logo. We're going to talk about the brand positioning. You have the brand values, the brand name, guidelines, tone of voice, audiences. What is your target audience? Who are your fan, your segment? And then when you are super successful, you have brand protection. And brand protection is to make sure that no one steals your IP, that you actually are the only one that control that IP and that commercial that IP. But this one is really mainly when you already have all the other one covered and successful. So there's a lot and way too many words on that slide. That's why I will pass it on quickly. What I do remember though, and I want you to remember as a coach, as a marketing guy, as a secretary general, as a board member, your brand is what will make you generate revenues. When you go to a marketing partner, when you go to broadcasters, when you go to people that will invest in your brand, they actually want the association with the brand and the community behind it. So that's why it's important that you work on your brand and you spend time on your brand, because they will not come just to obviously give you money to support. They will want to be associated. And that's an important point. So again, on this one, it's really important to understand that everything you do from a marketing side helps your brand and help you generate more revenues. And obviously, you can see that this is the success, obviously, of your brand reputation, I mean, and brand recognition is built through marketing. So it's important to make sure that you do invest in marketing. There is content creation, but it's really an important point there. And that's obviously the role of branding. You see 4 key components: creating value for the fans, creating value for the sponsors, for the partners, for the club, for the stakeholders. Again, I want to be proud to have, and on our side we're proud, we have FIBA, obviously polos on, but you want to be proud of the fans wearing your merchandise. You also make sure that you want to have a good relationship with the stakeholders, partners, broadcasters, the city. Often, obviously, the city is supportive of the clubs, so you need to make sure that you involve in there. And then it's also the way of making sure that you have a great reputation, brand recognition, and that you have fans moving forward. Because what is important is the club will stay, the fan will go. Meaning the fan will be fan his whole life. Normally you don't change your club, your basketball club from you have. But then how do you get the next generation? How do you get the Gen Z, the millennials, whoever, I mean, is coming next as well? One, and we touched about it, but I will also cover it quickly, but it's the brand positioning. This is an exercise that we've done, and I will show you the outcome at the Basketball Champions League. But this is your brand, your club. You're in the middle of the target. And then around you have the partners, which are more B2B, the commercial partners. You have the fans, B2C. And then you have the competitors. You need to understand the ecosystem. Who are your competitors? I'm not talking here about only, obviously, basketball competitors. So I'm not either a fan of Priscilla or a fan of Trepcha. I'm also a fan of movies. I love to go to the movie. And movie on Saturday, I mean, conflict with basketball game. So why would I go to the basketball game versus the movie? And that is what you need to understand. I mean, I can also stay home, watch Netflix. What is obviously your competition, what your fans want, and what you're going to give them? If you want a great experience, obviously, with people engaging, etc., there's no better place than a basketball game to do that. So you need to make sure that you work on that. And again, that's the way to differentiate yourself. So when you do that exercise, with you obviously in the middle, what are the clubs, what are your fans, what are your competitors, what are your partners, that's the way to make sure that you actually define what is your unique selling point, unique selling proposal, what I just mentioned. What makes you unique? Is that all clear so far? If there's any question, again, don't hesitate. I mean, we've done the icebreaker about 40 minutes ago or 30 minutes ago, so I'm sure, again, at one point, if you also want to stretch, stand up, feel free to, and be my guest there. So then again, that's the brand positioning, and that we will do an exercise, so again, on a bit later on, but on your brand positioning. And you will pick a club, and you will understand, where is this club going? What is your brand? What is your target audience? Are you more looking at young demographics, the young fans? Are you looking at the old fans? Are you looking at the female fans, at the men fans? What is your approach? You have to, it's actually a science. I mean, it's not like, oh, we're going to see who comes, that's it. Well, no, that's not the way actually to obviously plan and prepare for it. And based on that is also what do you stand for? What are your values? You're going back to the values. So that's really all the point of positioning who you are and where you are. And again, I will show an example, a concrete example with the Basketball Champions League. And then that's what we were discussing. Based on your value, you have the tone and voice and how you communicate those values to the world through your videos, through your presentation. With character or persona, and you can be friendly, warm, playful, fightful as well, authoritative. With the language, depending on who you speak to, you can be savvy, you can be complex. Then obviously you have the tonality, personal, humble, again, different type of approach there. And then you have the purpose. Am I here to educate? Am I here to engage with the community? And that it all depends again. I cannot tell you for your club what is your values. I mean, you will tell it to me actually more than anything else. Are you here to educate the younger generation, or are you here to inform the whole community? And it could be both. But that's really the way you do that on your side. That will be something that is useful for you. You will have it in the presentation, but to understand where you're at in your brand approach. This is a brand assessment, and you look at obviously the elements, starting with the brand management. What is my mission? Vision, core values. What is my product definition? What is the club? What is my club? The visual identity, the current one. The brand portfolio, the different, obviously, brand that you can create from that. At the Basketball Champions League, we now have the Youth Basketball Champions League. Or do you keep some of the Basketball Champions League DNA, but you actually also turn it into a youth competition? And then you have the resources and capabilities. You actually should be able to look at that wheel and see where you are. Are you more already, I'm lacking resources and capabilities, so I didn't start with the brand management. Or actually, I've done the mission core values, I've done the product definition, and I'm currently looking at my visual identity. I understand, obviously, Pjesa has changed their logo recently, so I'm sure they've done some of that exercise there.
So, Ben, can I ask, anyone who has a vision and a mission and values to stand up? So if you have a vision, a mission and values to stand up.
As a club.
As a club, if you have currently, your club has a vision, your club has a mission, and your club has values, can you stand up so that we can see? So if your club has a vision, a mission, and values, if you can stand up.
Maybe not. That's why, I mean, if you know, but if you feel, I mean, you have them in stand up. I mean, not everyone feels they are there, which is
okay. So it's more than half. Okay. Can I ask what are your values in your club?
Atë foliship nështë ma shlir mu shprej. Vlerat tona si klub sporejna që 4-5 vite, do më thonë klubi ma I ri, do më thonë me mesatorët moshave ma të reja në Superligën e Kosovës. Edhe së fund me besoj që e keni po dhe e keni ndëgju se jena kon klubi që e kena shkaktu disfat edhe Prishtinës, edhe shumë probleme klubeve tjera. Tu e di që jena si një klub shumë I ri. Vlera tjera në klubin ton janë të përmendim disiplinën, pastaj edhe se klubi ka shumë vajza të reja që ushtrojnë dikon rreth 80 vajza që janë të interesume, edhe qyren me zonë një vend për me lujt edhe me qenë lojtare. Po ashtu vetë personalisht si lojtare, mision jam dhe vizioni është për më bo edhe trenera, po edhe me pasaj do më thonë një mosh pak ma të vonë me qenë pjesë e kryesisë klubit dhe me ndihmu klubit në shumë aspekte.
Thank you. I mean, and I see, if I were to summarize, but I think that's a very good one, useful is part of your DNA. I mean, you mentioned discipline, but useful because you actually engage with youth. I mean, you're a young player, a young club, but engaging with youth. I see also the young, and you mentioned young girls, and making sure that you have then participation at the young age. And then obviously you did mention disciplines and trying to still, I mean, obviously elevate and go to the best. So that's very good, obviously, and you explained it well, but that 3 key words to me that then this is what the club stand for. And if you want to obviously have participation of your kids, that's where I want to go, because you are into the youth approach. So that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I think this is important because these 3 areas that Ben has highlighted, the key thing is that you are communicating those 3 values on a regular and consistent time. That is what will make you stand out. Can I go to one more? And then, please. So what are your values as a club? So what are your, like, is it respect, fun? What are your values as a club?
Vlerat tona si klub që mendoj që është organizimi I mirë, është qasja e mirë si me lojtarë, si me tifoz, edhe si synemi yni është inkuadrimi në Super League, edhe tërheqja sa më shumë tifozve në përkrahje të klubit. Kjo është ajo.
So how are you communicating that? How are you communicating those values? What are you doing on social media on a regular basis or at the ground?
Ne në media sociale pak jemi të angazhuar, por angazhohemi në takime, në vend takime, në organizime, në këto gjëra, me tifoz.
Clear. I think what is interesting and something you mentioned, and I don't want to obviously put it in word that would not summarize that, but when you mentioned obviously you want to be in the elite, so what you mentioned obviously you want to be part of the Super League, obviously elitism is important, and I think that's then a value which may be different from participation. Where I come from, in Switzerland, there's different basketball clubs. I put my son in one that is more family-oriented. Everyone goes to that club and say, it's a family-oriented club, because I wanted him not to have too much pressure, I wanted him to participate, etc. But there's also a club, it's like, I want my son to be a pro, this is where I'm going to put him. It's a different club, different atmosphere. So that's, again, thank you very much for sharing those values, but that's important that you have those values spelled out and that you communicate around the values. So if your values, we want to be elite clubs with a structure that makes sense, then you need to make sure that you communicate down that path all the time on social media and on all videos there. Good, thank you. Just looking at time as well and to make sure that we stay there if we start. One thing, and it's more a takeover. When you have the presentation, you can literally keep that slide with you. It's kind of brand checklist. So that you can look into this, and if you have answer to all the questions, it means you've done a good job. If you don't have an answer from one of the elements, then that's where you say, okay, you need to enter into the different exercise, branding thinking, brainstorms, etc. So I will not go through that, but that's an important one. Let me move briefly to the Basketball Champions League and to the case studies. As you can see, this slide is slightly different from this slide, which is the DNA of the Basketball Champions League. The reason why we have this slide, and again, it's more a marketing campaign, we're starting season 9 this year. And because it's season 9, we actually linked it to music. The Basketball Champions League, we don't want to be only sports, but we want to be entertainment, and we actually linked it to the 9th Symphony, Ode to Joy from obviously Beethoven. And what we obviously change it on our side, and that's the marketing campaign, and you can see the video online, it's actually Ode to Basketball. So all season 9, and again, that was obviously through brainstorm, working with different freelancers and agencies, was about the Ode to Basketball, and how do we then use a different theme for this season, keep the logo, keep the brand identity, but change the marketing approach to promote the season 9. Now I'm going to the Basketball Champions League, to the logo that you can see, and that we always put the name as well with it, called Basketball Champions League. Again, the terms make sense. Who we are? Well, we are a competition, pan-European competition. We have 9 months of competition. It includes 52 clubs, 28 that qualify directly to the regular season, 24 that will play in the qualification phase. We have actually one team from Kosovo. There's over 190 games per season. We are involved in 29 countries, and we are merit-based. And this is in bold and big, merit-based, because that is the DNA of the Basketball Champions League. And that's our unique selling proposition. We will share other elements, but this is who we are. And this is what FIBA is. We want to help the ecosystem, work with the leagues, work with the clubs for them to get better, but it's always as a partners. On our side, we want the clubs to actually earn their spots for European competition on the court. It's not a closed league. That's our difference. If you take, obviously, all the leagues, if you take the NBA in the US, it's a closed league. That's their system. If you take EuroLeague, it's a semi-closed league. The Basketball Champions League is open. And that makes us different from the others. And that's what we want to obviously push. In terms of, obviously, numbers, and again, to give you a bit of elements, and that's why we always need to even promote the brand a bit more and have more marketing. We have 16 million cumulative TV viewers in season 8. Over 500,000 people attended the games. So there's obviously 200 games this season. And 58 million video views on social. And social has always been a key factor for us because we want to be known in a non-traditional way. That's the importance of us. We are kind of, I would say, outsider in the club competition. We're only 9 years old. So we are the youngest club competition in basketball. So that's why we always want to take a different approach, different tone of voice, different element. I have a quick video to show you some of the elements I mentioned about. It was the Final Four that we did last season. And part of the DNA of a Final Four is making sure that people have a great experience on site. So having good entertainment, you will see some of it. Making sure that you also have innovation we want to be known as innovative. You will see some of it as well as we use the LED floor. And again, we want to be competitive. And you will see some of those elements as well with the video. Maybe if you can put...
Hello everybody, good evening. Welcome to Belgrade. This is the 2024 Basketball Champions League Final Four.
It's a special moment for the organization.
Stay with Ragland, who throws it up and the double Djokovic. Elton go diving on the floor for the ball. Cow guy.
There's no such feeling as reaching the final stage of a competition.
Look at St. Ross.
We don't want to just have a good year, you know. We want to finish at top.
It's really amazing how much this competition has grown and the respect that everybody has for it now.
Congratulate the openers of the computer to what accomplished.
So again, that's just an overview to show obviously a mini movie of the event, but to show what we're trying to push in there. The players, the best ambassadors, and the one that you want to put in front of everyone. So that's why they are speaking. Also the fans and what you're doing as a fan. You've seen the fan cam, obviously when you have a giant screen and you can obviously do some competition, obviously during the timeout, etc. But that's those elements that we want on our side to get known for. And it's funny because a few people actually left and I was like, well, it feels like it's like the NBA entertainment. Well, we want to do that because it's great to have that entertainment and we work with agencies that do work on NBA games, etc. But you also want to have the basketball competitiveness because we remain a basketball competition because Unicara, Vilnius, Ritas, they are strong basketball clubs and brands. So you want the quality, but you want to make sure you also have the fan experience on that front. As I mentioned, we did our exercise of brand positioning. And first of all, we looked at what asset we have. The logo, we have a different Final Four logo, and obviously the logos and the Final Four logo are also based on the shape of our trophy that you can see here. And again, our trophy is the Graal, as we say, it's the thing people want to go for, and that's why we try to put it everywhere. And then we have obviously our shape, the logo, the basketball guy. So that's, again, the look and feel that we've identified and that we're trying to put in every of our presentation there. In terms of positioning, you need to know, obviously, your competitors, as I mentioned. And that's the way, what we've done as an exercise, okay, this is the Basketball Champions League. This is the Intercontinental Cup, so that 2 FIBA events. This is the Turkish Airline EuroLeague. This is the NBA. Or do we not compare, but or are we different from it? And that's obviously to find a unique selling proposition. And that's where we come with merit base. We actually work with league, we work with the clubs, so that everyone can play in our competition. No matter how good your team is, you will never play in the NBA. That's the different mechanism. On our side, that's not what we want. We want to make sure we have as many countries, we work with as many countries as possible, we work with as many clubs as possible, and that if you win on the court, you can qualify to the Basketball Champions League. You first need to obviously participate in your league, then win the league, and then you can obviously jump there. That's the way we obviously differentiate ourselves from the other competition. And then the second thing that we did on positioning is looking at the fans, who are our fans, but also who are obviously basketball fans. And you can see there's the fan of the participating clubs. So Vilnius and Ritas is with us. Their fans are de facto following the Basketball Champions League. They're fan of the clubs, then become fan of our competition. But we need to know that those fans are fans of Ritas first. Then you have obviously the fans of the community participating. You have the BCL fans, the league fans. You have the media, the agents, I mean, all the people that gravitate around the ecosystem. General basketball fan. And then there's the casual sports fan, or the one that didn't know what to do on a Saturday and then ended up and coming to a basketball game. There's a lot of different basketball fans or sports fans, and you need to understand which sport fan are you targeting, why, and then which one do you know they're going to come no matter what. So again, it's one of that exercise that you need to do. And as I mentioned, obviously, this is what we came up, Basketball Champions League, as our brand positioning. The message we want to communicate is we elevate. We elevate basketball. That's our goal, elevate basketball, elevate the club that participate in the competition, and elevate the league. We are only a stage. We provide a stage to the clubs, to the league, to the players. So we are telling and amplifying the story of the clubs. Our role is on European stage. We will see, we have another competition called the FIBA Intercontinental Cup, which is on the worldwide stage. But here, and it's great for that, obviously, session today, it's only Europe. We're not going beyond that. Our value is inclusiveness. We want to be inclusive. Everyone can participate. Every club, every country in Europe can participate. And the tone is fresh and dynamic. It's like we need to come up with a new style, with a new tone. So we need to actually make sure in all our videos, we actually have a dynamic approach. And that's all I'm going to share with you the next video, which is about all FIBA club competition, but just to give you a bit of energy as well to go to the end of the presentation. If you can put the sound.
It means the word for me, it means the word for the players, it means the word to the city.
It's a bunch of champions coming together, hashing it out, seeing who's the best.
The winner here is a winner of winners.
Be hanging around, nobody trying to figure out if they good or they evil. I'm fighting the crime, steady your lives, one at a time. I'm killing the rhymes, I do it for the people.
A lot of eyes from all over the world are going to be watching.
So again, that's a quick overview of all the different FIBA competition, club competition. And you will see that leads me to the FIBA club competition and the FIBA Intercontinental Cup. You've seen one of the messages of the video that we put is elevate. That is part of our message that we're trying to put. That is part of the identity we want to have, elevating basketball. So again, in all the videos that you do, you need to make sure that you have your brand positioning well reflected. What is the FIBA Intercontinental Cup? Just if you know the competition, please raise your hand. 1, 2, see? What makes me, I wouldn't say sad about it, but it's actually a competition that started in 1966. So it's like 60 years old. It's, everyone keep talking about, hey, can we have a club competition, a World Cup of clubs in basketball, when the NBA call themselves the world champion, the NBA winner, and then there's people saying, no, it's not the NBA winner, it's actually the EuroLeague winner, and it's actually whoever. Well, we have a competition that actually could determine that. That's called the FIBA Intercontinental Cup, which is the winner of Basketball Champions League in Europe, Basketball Champions League in Asia, Basketball Champions League in America, Basketball Africa League, so joint venture with the NBA in Africa, and then a team from the NBA G League, plus obviously the NBL. So we bring all these guys together all the different FIBA competition that you see, and they're going to play 1 week in Singapore. It's going to be actually mid-September. And that is obviously a different approach, a different competition, and therefore different positioning. This is the brand of the brand identity of the FIBA Intercontinental Cup. And this is more celebrating basketball. It's more premium. And you can see in the color already, gold, black. It's a more premium approach. It's more institutional. It's still about, obviously, basketball, but it's about celebrating the game of basketball. We want to be festive. We want to provide a global stage. And that's the way we've defined, obviously, our approach. So the message compared very different from the Basketball Champions League is, or do we celebrate basketball? Or are we, obviously, it's a basketball party, if I may call it that way. It's a global stage and exclusive. Not everyone can compete. It's only 6 teams. So this one, we're not inclusive as the Basketball Champions League is. It's only reserved for the winner. And the way we communicate is about festive and celebratory. So that's, again, there. I have a video that will pass on quickly of the Basketball Champions League, of the FIBA Intercontinental Cup, which is that, but it shows you as well the approach, the golden ball, the approach that is really trying to have a premium product and a very festive product. It's great to talk about basketball, but I know also that basketball is the second most global sport in the world, right after football. It's also good to have a bit of an approach of seeing, are they doing that in football, and what are they doing in football? That is actually the message, the role, and the tone of voice to differentiate the different club competition that UEFA has taken. Again, that's something is just, obviously for your eyes on this one, but it's just to show that they have 3 main competition and the way they are differentiated, the way they have different positioning. The Champions League is all about the excellence, exclusive. It's obviously only to the key top clubs, and it's very polished. That's the way they approach it. The Europa League, actually, it's all about the ambition, because the people that play Europa League actually wants to come to the Champions League. So it's really clubs with ambition that actually want to participate, and then it's selective clubs, and it's a bit edgy. That's the approach that they take. And same thing for the Conference League. So it's just to show you that, again, you can have obviously different competition, different brand, different teams. You may have different positioning, and that's okay, as long as it's well spelled out. Going on quickly on other football clubs, and I will only spend a few things because we already cover quite some elements there. But Olympique de Marseille, well-known or renowned French club, the only one today that have won the Champions League, and they have done a lot of rebranding exercise over the years. And they presented actually to us, to the Basketball Champions League and to our clubs, all their approach around storytelling, all their approach about targeted audience. So I picked a few slides because it is interesting to see. Again, I will only show things that we haven't covered yet. The first part is, this is the first thing they told us, is what is the DNA of our brand? So that was their first slide of the presentation. What is the DNA of a brand? So it's important when you have a club, that's the way I define my club. And their club was about passion. It's a legendary club, but also traditional passion. Diversity. Marseille is known obviously for being a very diverse city with different community coming together, and they actually want to bring everyone around football, around their clubs. Authenticity. I mean, they want to be known as obviously authentic, and I think it's important that the brands obviously remains that. And then, interestingly enough, underdog. So, which means they know they had a very historic past, but they're coming with a different approach. It's more the challenger, the outsider. So that it's also a way to say, well, you know what, we're gonna fight, but we may not be champion every year. So to already move the result on a different side, to not have the result. So if I don't win the championship, that's okay. That's not my DNA. First is about passion, diversity, authenticity. Then obviously the team will fight, but if I don't win it, that's okay. And then obviously they come with the positioning. Similar to what we've done. And on their side, the positioning was we're inclusive. Again, everyone. We're young-oriented. We're spectacular, and we want to show spectacular things. So when you come to the stadium, you see it, and we are committed. So again, that was their approach, what they've done and all the work they've done. That is true for them. That may not be true for another club. That's, again, what you have to work on your side and what to make sure that you have that well spelled out. And obviously, what is now important is also what are the target audience. Core fans, the one with the tifo. They will be there. If the clubs win even more, but they will be there. Even, I mean, that's where we recognize fans. If they lose, they're still going to be there. The community. So it's wider than the fan and the core fan. Is how do I engage the city? Or do I make sure that this is becoming the place to be on Saturday on game day? The teens, and that go back to the young approach. I mean, they say part of the DNA, they want to be young, so teens. And then African French-speaking community, or countries, because they are obviously known in that approach, and they are working a bit more with, obviously, Northern African country. They have ways of measuring things, and it's just for the presentation, and then obviously going quickly to the way then their visual identity looked. Starting with the font. They have different type of font. One for entertainment, so for posters, etc., and one more for editorial on their website. Again, that shows you that there's nothing that is pure coincidence. It's actually worked on what you want the institutional part to be, the website, or you want the website to look. What is the entertainment part? What's the fans, the posters, etc. So as you go over that, you obviously have the colors. What are our colors? Primary colors. Obviously, it's a club which is white and blue. But how do you have the secondary colors? And again, look at the premium aspect. And then the tertiary colors. Or do you work that in your licensing strategy? Or do you work that in your day-to-day? And that's obviously all you end up with that approach, with obviously the historical approach, and then the new kind of approach. And you know that, again, not everything will please the fans. The hardcore fans will normally go with more the historical approach because they link to it. But the younger generation may actually go with more the kind of flashy, primary, gold approach. So that's why you need to have a good range so that you can speak to a wider community. And then one step further, and I think that's where they obviously have a full database, they have a full studio, it's understanding their fans. Who are their fans? You're going to talk about the fan journey tomorrow, but it's important to understand their fans. And you don't speak to their fans the same way. What was interesting, 21% of their database is actually the soccer mom, which is someone that have kids, mom that have kids, that do football, that love it, and that they will follow Marseille to obviously get engaged, connected with the kids. If you don't know that, you could easily remove a good part of your fans because you don't speak to the right person. Of course, you have the super fan, which will be there no matter what. You have the student, you have the 12 players. I mean, but you need to make sure that you have obviously understanding of all your fan are, and then a way to actually turn your fan into the curious. I was there, I see the light enter, there's a basketball game. I'm going to see and understand what it is. Well, this guy, you need to make sure that you transform into a prospect. He's going to come back. He's actually going to buy a monthly or yearly package there. The newcomers, so I mean that even before going to obviously the shop or going to the engaged fan, the 12 players and the super fan. Ideally, you do the full things and you arrive here, and that's perfect. That's the ideal scenario. But sometimes you're happy as well if they're already here and stay here. What is important is this guy that maybe end up on your social media because he liked the video, or do you turn into a prospect, and then or do you turn it into he's going to come to the game because of something he's seen. So that's really that approach, and again, you will cover that a bit later. And the last slide, obviously before we go in a well-deserved coffee break, unless there's any question, is the tone of voice that we discussed. And the tone of voice, obviously on their side, going to the brand positioning, when they mentioned part of their DNA is spectacular, while the tone of voice needs to entertain. We need to move. There needs to be emotions. And obviously they need to inspire hope. So that's, again, one element from a football club, links to obviously what you've seen for the Basketball Champions League, the FIBA Intercontinental Cup, but also from your day-to-day example and your brand on how you need to play around the branding approach, from your logo to your positioning, to a target audience, to your brand identity, image, storytelling, etc. Is there any question, comments? If not, I would like to thank you again for the commitment. I'm happy to discuss with you around the break, and I will obviously launch the first coffee break, and then we'll come back with a very great practical example of actually Vilnius Ritas, who is part of the Basketball Champions League, who is the actually Lithuanian champion, and a very well-known and renowned, and that I've done a lot of work from a brand identity and image. Thank you very much.